with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, I hate to start out with some more bad news, but it was a pretty significant weekend for a lot of things. Saturday, this is from Jill Cowan of the New York Times. Another community stunned by an attack on a house of worship. This time, gunmen opened fire at a synagogue during a service the last day of Passover. 60-year-old woman was killed. A rabbi was shot in the hand. I think he lost a finger. And 2 other people were left with shrapnel wounds. And I believe one was an 8-year-old girl. The police say a 19-year-old man with an AR-15 style gun stormed into the Chabad of Poway Synagogue a little before noon. He was yelling anti-Semitic slurs. He had just posted something online about how he was going to do it, but they couldn't track him in time. The synagogue was full, more full than usual, since it was the last day of Passover. The congregation's rabbi, Yisrael Goldstein, tried talking to the man after he opened fire, but he fired again. A woman, Lori Kay, died after jumping in front of the rabbi to protect him. The gunman left the building potentially after his weapon malfunctioned. 2 off-duty Border Patrol officers, I believe, ran after him, tried to stop him. Officials said they were investigating whether he had posted this anti-Semitic manifesto online before the attack, and they did apprehend him a little bit after.
My concealed permit carry stuff is pretty much the Border Patrol off-duty guys. Like, hey, when this shit goes down, would you like a good guy with a gun in plain clothes either at the bank or at the synagogue or the church or the supermarket? And if the answer is yes, then you're answering my question.
Well, and I believe one of the quotes from one of the articles is the rabbi, Yisrael Goldstein, told the man, it was either Morales or Stewart, there were 2 of them there, said, bring your gun, we never know when we'll need you.
Well, that's the day. Okay, sadly, that's the time we're living in. And you putting a sticker on the front window saying this is a gun-free zone does not work for the guy who wants to bring the gun and slaughter all the innocents. So have that guy.
There were 2 people there with concealed guns that chased the guy in a garden. They caught him.
Yeah.
Look, my take is I would like everybody who's planning a mass murder of this kind, whether it's a school campus.
Listen up, everyone.
Listen up. Whether it's a school campus, synagogue, church, mosque, whatever it is. I would like you to walk into a group of people and have no idea who had a gun, but assume somebody who was there did have one, knows how to use it, and she'll be ready to respond when you start shooting. Now, whether they're there or not, that, in a way, is neither here nor there. I want you thinking.
You don't know.
They're going to be somewhere.
Yeah.
And I know it's this thing where it's like, oh, so we give every teacher a gun and then it turns into the Wild West. And I'm not talking about that. I'm saying in any large group, somebody will have a background. A military background, a law enforcement background, a border patrol, whatever it is, a background that involves them and a gun and some training. And if that person is in your flock or in your school or on your campus, let's have a couple of those people packed and ready to go.
Yeah. Well, and the last day of Passover doesn't usually qualify for this kind of security. But whether I was in Kansas City growing up, as a teenager or whatever, or out here, there's always metal detectors and security at the front of synagogues on high holidays. Always.
They had it at Cobb's when I was playing there last weekend.
Wow.
Metal detector.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that was the first time you'd seen that at Cobb's, I imagine? Because that's bizarre.
I mean, I had D.L. Hughley opening for me, so I could have been. No. They had a metal detector. It's the new world order.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, USA Today reports that the number of cases of measles in the U.S. has now reached 704 in 22 states. The highest mark since the highly contagious virus was declared eliminated in 2000, according to the CDC in this country. This year's surge in cases largely is among unvaccinated people in New York, suburban Rockland County, New York, and Washington State. This century's record was hit as of April 26.
Not L.A.
Not yet, no, which means the figure will only increase as it's very, very contagious. It often slows during the warmer weather, but it seems to be increasing. And I just listened to a show called This Podcast Will Kill You, and it's these 2 grad students that talk about epidemics and infectious diseases. And they said that in order for this to have any control over this, 97% of the population has to be vaccinated. And apparently it's not like chicken pox with measles. Apparently it can completely erase your hard drive when it comes to your immune system. Anything that you were already vaccinated against, anything like if you had chicken pox, well, I can't get it again. I already had it. That's all erased with a bad case of measles. So it's pretty scary.
Yeah, are we getting to what do we call it? End days here? Like
end of days.
As Dr. Drew.
There's locusts and famine, and I was just
Plague.
reading an article today that somebody sent me that we got to take people who live in L.A. and people have to convert their garages into homeless shelters. Like everyone, Everyone,
hey, we're in a big garage.
Yeah, everyone's got a garage. Everyone's got a single family home's got a garage. We just go ahead and put the homeless family in there, and that's what we got to do. And I just thought, God, this is it's getting scary. Plus, it's also funny that L.A. City. I spent the first part of my life arguing with them over putting a room above my garage and them saying you can't do anything like that. And now it's like, we got to do it.
Yeah. TMZ reports that Woodstock 50 is officially scrapped, at least according to the people putting up the money. The event's main investor made the announcement Monday, saying it doesn't, quote, believe the production of the festival can be executed as an event worthy of the Woodstock name, while also ensuring the health and safety of the artists, partners, attendees. It sounds like they might be, maybe a little skittish after the Fire Festival documentaries. Tickets for Woodstock 50 were supposed to go on sale last week. They didn't. Meanwhile, the promoter, Michael Lang, does not agree that Woodstock 50 is dead.
I bet never gets sick. Billy Joe from Green Day.
It's covered in mud from...
How you figure?
Woodstock.
Well, the Woodstock they had like...
94?
Yeah.
Maybe. Was it 94? 99. I felt like it was later than that.
There was one in 94 and 99.
Oh. I guess he was...
99 was a total disaster.
He was slushing
but I think
around.
The famous mud... I'll have to look that up now.
Got to look it up.
Slinging.
Could have been by 94. Oh, 94, 99. But anyway, not only were everyone chucking piles of sod at him, he was grabbing it and eating it, like taking a bite out of it and
Alice
throwing
Cooper.
it back.
That's good.
Yeah, that's punk rock.
That's right.
It's the new Alice Cooper.
He was eating sod chips that were being flung his way.
Wow, superhero.
That's rock and roll.
Well, Michael Lang says this announcement was a complete surprise, and he is not giving up on the festival. He's not the one with the money, but he's not going to give up.
It's surprising the promoter's not giving up on it.
Is he the one that was serving breakfast in bed for $200,000? Is that the guy, the original guy on the stage? Yeah.
From 50 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. You have to look that up.
I don't know.
Breakfast in bed, don't take the brown acid.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out whether, it was one of those. It was the muddy Woodstock from either 94 or 99. They took 5 years off.
99 was the one that Dawson's talking about where there's like fires and rapes and bad. Yeah, that was a disaster.
God.
94 was just kind of,
Silly.
Yeah, Michael Lang was the original producer.
So, of course, he doesn't want to give up on it.
Yeah. Listen, I play it safe. I take my family every year to hang out with the Juggalos. We don't want trouble.
Hey, they do say they're a family, the Juggalos.
So,
No. My daughter loves the Insane Clown Posse.
does she?
ICP?
That'd be amazing.
She listens to the worst music ever. Like her state, she has a Spotify channel called Annoying the Shit Out of Adam Carolla.
It's a good playlist.
And that's all it is. It's just a bunch of shit
Katy
that
Perry
I
and
rail
Rihanna.
against and make fun of, and that's all she listens to. Sonny will get down with the John Hyde and the Green Days
Pearl
and the
Jam.
Nirvana and the Pearl Jam and all that Foo Fighters and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
You know those videos, they're all over Facebook of little kids listening to like classic rock or whatever and trying to make sense of it and see if they like it. We should do that with Sonny and Natalia with ICP and some other bands and just get their take.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what they think.
We drink Faygo.
There you go.
Oh, chocolate fig.
And we watch ICP.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. Okay.
John, you look confused. Are you down with the clown till 6 for underground?
Insane Clown
I don't know what
Posse.
that is.
I think you'd recognize him if you saw him. We got to put a picture
They're
up.
kind of an
ICP.
improv troupe.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Commedia.
They wear a lot of makeup. They're big guys. It's sort of where it's like music meets Mexican wrestling. You know what I mean?
Go on.
That's a good way to describe it.
I was thinking the other
Sounds
day.
very entertaining.
There's wrestling. There's so much wrestling. Yeah, there's high school and college and Olympic wrestling, but the only
They just look like idiots.
Well, you.
Oh boy, that was JonLovitz, everyone. That was JonLovitz.
You just lost your middle spot opening for the Insane Clown Posse and the Juggalos. Number one. Number two. All right, he knows who they are now. Or he doesn't.
Or either way.
I'm sorry. Oh, they look very talented.
I was thinking about wrestling and...
sorry, they look like morons. Sorry.
Was there ever a Juggalo crossover on the Man Show?
Gina, please.
Oh, Juggalo.
Yeah,
no.
When did that ever happen?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
We didn't know about the Juggalos.
Okay.
But I do... they were on Loveline a million years ago.
No, the recurring guests.
I do remember that. So...
Smart guys.
Out of all the wrestling, the college and Olympic and everything else, the only one that's fake has the word professional in front of it,
right.
which is a weird, kind of a weird thing, because normally when you put professional,
it means you're taking it seriously.
If you put it in front of pilot, you usually get a better pilot.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's a very good point. Well, Brigham Young University valedictorian Matt Easton came out as gay during his graduation speech amid loud applause and cheers of support from thousands in attendance, according to New York Daily News.
I need a volunteer to join me on sit down, gals. I need someone with a strong back to help me on do a little demonstration here. Now look, words are words, but actions. Sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
The 24-year-old practicing Mormon started his speech on Friday by congratulating all the students for pushing through all the difficulties, receiving the diplomas, and saying that he would also like to take the time to celebrate some of his personal victories.
It's a tricky time, right? Like your son's going to do the valedictorian speech, and maybe your daughter's going to go up there and bring someone up, and then you have to have that conversation where you're like, now you're not going to announce you're trapped inside a woman's body. Like, are you? I mean, it's okay if you are, but
just give us a heads up.
If you're going to say something, I think now's a more appropriate time, like, because Nana's going to be there, you know.
Yeah, get it out now.
She's kind of set in her ways.
Yeah.
So if you are
frail,
trapped in the wrong body, and there's no problem with that whatsoever, but I think just one-on-one would be more time.
Maybe a blog post?
Yeah, but probably just let's try to keep the Jumbotron out of the mix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did I say Nana's going to be there?
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Okay.
But I have some things to say.
Okay.
I'm proud.
All right, well, I'm saying get it off your chest.
Maybe
or
a dry
press
run
or,
right now. Maybe a dry run. Run through the speech.
Yes.
Well, he did say he had already come out to some family and friends, but not publicly. Here's a clip from the speech.
So he's
10,000 people.
That of coming to terms not with who I thought I should be, but who the Lord has made me to be. As such, I stand before my family, friends, and graduating class today to say that I am proud to be a gay son of God.
Off the stage, fag! Whoa. Yeah, man.
Brian, please.
I didn't say it.
In case you're wondering sort of where the church
John
is with
Lovitz.
this.
No, it
BYU,
wasn't. Nice try.
BYU...
I sound like this.
founded by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, states that, quote, while same-gender attraction is not an issue, acting on it
attraction.
is. The policy explains that homosexual behavior includes not only sexual relations between members of the same sex, but also forms of physical intimacy that give expression to homosexual feelings. So you could think about it, but that's where it ends.
I think if you're gay, that's where you go, because I feel like you got a lot more pent-up action going on over there. You know what I mean?
On the BYU campus?
BYU is where you want to go?
That's where you want to go. I mean, you could go
at least expect you.
Go somewhere in the Bay Area, fine, but get in line.
Right.
Get in the back of the line.
It's a buyer's market.
Yeah, you go there. You're going to find some pretty pent-up dudes.
Willing.
And if your gaydar's even half calibrated, it's going to be a fun 4 years for you.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Counterintuitive.
No, well, yes. It's like I was an idiot because I spent high school on the football team and playing baseball, and it was just a bunch of dudes in a locker room. Nothing.
Oh.
The smart guys were the guys that went into dance.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
went into-
dance and theater.
in
Yell
theater,
leader.
and
Yeah.
then there's like them and three
Fish and
gay
barrel.
guys and 18 hot chicks who are looking to discover themselves sexually. That's where the
right.
smart action is.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a really good point.
Out of the groundlings,
And the groundlings. You have a go at Kathy Griffin.
for example.
Oh, yeah. She was liberal.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Look down to explore.
I think she dated quite a few guys that passed through there.
Listen,
you confirm
she confirmed it. They had a 30th anniversary reunion show of the Groundlings, and she got on stage. She was not like to read the list of everybody I slept with at the Groundlings.
Oh, that's great.
And she went, I don't know, about 20 guys. It was a lot of people.
And she ended with Sherry O'Terry.
Was not on it.
Oh, you're not on it?
No, I am happy to report I was not on it. She's nice, but anyway, I was not on it. But I had a friend of mine who was like there with his wife, and he's on it. I'm like, oh, God, Kathy, what do you know? I've known her since she's 23, and she's just very open about everything she does and thinks. And
yeah. She had that apartment on the west side. She used to have parties over there. Like,
Her sheets smelled like lilacs.
Oh, you went there. I didn't.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Hold on. Was I on that list?
The guest pillow was a little lumpy.
I don't remember your name.
Good. All right.
No, she listed Groundlings.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't an actual groundling. I didn't make the cut. I just went through the system. I was never
Not in the Sunday Company.
I was never asked to be a groundling. No.
Oh, John's got to go.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
He thinks he hears his pies burning.
It's very, the thing about it is the company members are on like the board. There's 9 people. And so the people in the company are picking who gets to come into the company. So it's very, they don't want people that they think are going to take, spots away from them, and it's very tough to get in.
Yeah, I was too funny.
I barely got in.
It's clear. You don't soften the blow.
It could be a reason why you didn't get in. No, it's true.
You don't. By the way, people try to soften the blow where you don't make something. They go, it's just a popularity contest. It's not even.
It's just a matter of how likable you are, right. How engaging.
No, but like the Sunday Company, you could be in it for 6 months and then they vote you in. So I didn't get in. But so I stayed another 6. I didn't expect to. But after a year of being in the Sunday Company, at that time, then you could vote it up.
Right.
And certain people got in that I knew I was better than, and I told the director of the Sunday Company, I go, how do you put them in ahead of me? I go, I'm better than them. And she said, yeah, I know, but this is all they can do. You're really talented. You can do other stuff too. You can act too.
Interesting.
I'm like, excuse me. I go, I'm here for you, working my butt off to get in the company, and now you're saying because I'm too good.
You're overqualified.
I have talent, I can do this, and other things I can't get in.
Remember when
was I pissed, but I stayed another 6 months, I got in. It worked out.
Remember the Groundlings had a TV show for like 10 minutes in like the late 90s? And Max Pat will look into it. Bill Bixby starred as Will Ferrell.
I knew it.
No, it must have been like circa 98, 97, 98. They had a TV show. The Groundlings. It make sense, sure. Eventually you get a TV show.
They could have had everything, TV, movies, everything, but the people were so neurotic and competitive against each other, nothing could ever get done.
Instant
so they
comedy.
Just stayed as a theater group.
Instant comedy with the Groundlings, circa 1998, and Lisa Kudrow was in that. Anyway, I was asked to guest host one of the episodes as the celebrity guest host, and I was so still sort of in the cult of the Groundlings and had the Stockholm syndrome that when I was like backstage with all the Groundlings, they were asking me, like, so you're on MTV or Comedy Central or whatever it was. And I was like, forget about me. You're a groundling.
You made it in.
And they were going, I know, but my roommate's not impressed in our crappy apartment in Van Nuys. And I was like, yeah, but you guys are stars, And they're like, no, you're the celebrity who's here. And I never really could calibrate it because I always wanted to be a groundling. And when you get into the system, it becomes the most important thing ever.
Oh, it became my whole life. I mean, I loved it when I was there. It was great. And I mean, we would do everything. We'd write sketches. We would have parties together, your best friends. I mean, it was terrific. It's a great place to go.
Kathy Griffin.
It's very hard to get in.
Was there. Mindy Sterling.
This is of the TV show?
Yeah. Phil Lamar. Let's see. I'll try to figure out Michael McDonald.
I was in it with Kathy and Mindy.
Yeah.
When I was there.
Mindy Sterling was Austin Powers, I think.
Yeah.
Ralph Arbissina?
Right. Phil Lamar.
This is sort of like an all-star like show of groundlings. This wasn't like current Groundlings Sunday Company or something.
I guess so.
It makes sense.
No, those are all people
Right.
that were in the main company.
Yeah, but they assembled them.
I
It
just
wasn't
did a little
the main
reunion
company.
show, and Phil was there, and Mindy, and Mindy was in my group. I did plays with her. She was great.
Phil Lamar from a million things, but from Pulp Fiction, right? As well, black fella.
Oh, is he the owner of the club?
No, he's the guy. He's a young black man. I think was
Marvin.
Yeah, he's Marvin.
Oh, in
right.
the
Shot him in the
Kahuna
face.
Burger? Yeah.
Yeah,
Shot him in the face.
Oh,
right.
wow.
He's a very good actor. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good, Adam.
Yes, I know. I wasn't good enough.
I don't know. Maybe you were. Maybe you were too good.
I wasn't, because when I took the Groundlings, I remember very well. I took the basic. I took the first year, and then there were long layoffs in between, like basic and intermediate and writing lab and advanced. It'd be like a year, 18 months.
Yeah, they added a writing lab after I got SNL. They added a level and they doubled the prices.
Yeah.
After I got SNL, and I was kind of mad about it because I could barely afford it, and everyone going there doesn't have any money. And
No, I didn't have any money.
I was like, how can you double the price? It was like $300 for class.
Well,
I went to $600, and I went. I didn't like that part. But.
Well, that explains a lot, because you never would have made it through Cynthia Spaghetti's writing lab, so you never would have made it into the
Cynthia,
Sunday
she
show.
was nice. She passed away.
Recently, or semi-recently. Anyway, Cynthia Spaghetti was great. She was a total ball. She was a big, heavy-set lady who just busted everyone's chops, like out loud, like crazy, yelling at people. Like You'd go, she'd go, okay, let's do a bit. You're at a location or at a party. Adam, you enter. Steve, you're on stage. And then I'd come in the door, and like Steve would go like, I'd go, what's going on in here? And she'd yell, stop, like from the back. You know what's going on. Don't ask questions. Show up again. And then you'd like show up and you go, wow, 30th birthday party. It's quite a milestone. And then she'd yell, stop again. And she'd yell, what did you bring with you to the party? And you go, I got my hands in my pocket. She's like, you got something. And then you'd like come back again. 30th birthday. I brought you ambrosia salad. I hope you enjoy it. And she'd let you continue, but she'd like throw a shoe at you or something if you screwed up, and it got
Lisa
you into that
Kudrow
mindset.
took the beginning class because she worked for her father as a doctor, and she was working in his office. She'd gone to Vassar, but she called me and she says, I think I want to be an actress. What should I do? I said, well, go to the Groundlings. And then she said, later on, she said to me, I said, I learned more there than anywhere, but I learned a ton. I said, go to the Groundlings. And I remember she said she took the beginning class, and they said, you should take this class with Cynthia Spaghetti, and who'd been in the original company and was a teacher, and she really credits Cynthia with teaching her everything.
She was tough, but fair. They told me after I took the beginning class, they were like, well, you're funny, but you don't know how to act. You don't know what direction to face. You don't know what's upstage or downstage or stage right or but you don't know anything.
You showed them.
They said, go take an acting class, and then you can come back and take the intermediate. And I do remember once, Cynthia loved me, I think. She was very tough, but she was proud, I think, and we had a good working relationship, but you had to have a pretty thick skin with her. And I was like 23, and my girlfriend had dumped me, and I was in the throes of that, young man dumped by the girl, like I'm going to throw myself off a bridge, kind of like I was so cosmically depressed and everything. And we actually took a break on a class, like you get a 10-minute lunch break or whatever, cigarette break, and I grabbed the payphone and called my girl and like begged for her to take me back, and she like hung up on me. And I like walked back into the Groundlings, and everyone had come back in, like, all right, let's get up there and do a Herald. And I pulled Cynthia aside, and I just went, I can't do it. I can't. I'm going to cry. I'm so, my guts in a ball of, wound up in a knot. I just got to leave. I got to leave. Sorry. I don't want to make a scene. I don't feel well. I got to leave. And she's like, okay. And then everyone gets on stage. He goes, Adam's having some difficulty with his lady friend. And everyone's like looking at me, and I'm like, And she's like, he just got dumped on the payphone, so he doesn't think he should have to get on stage and perform because he's hurting inside. And I'm like, God damn it! I thought we had
It's
something.
not getting any better.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Then did you get up?
I think at that point, everyone on stage, come on, get back up here. And I was standing by the door going,
Okay.
God damn it.
Can I have a location?
It's good. So Full Metal Jacket.
You have a list of Cynthia Seghetti's students?
Yeah, in her bio, it says that her improv students at the Grounds and Acme Comedy Theater include Adam Carolla, Will Forte, Joel McHale, Conan O'Brien, Sherry O'Terry, Julius Sweeney, and then actress Lisa Kudrow, who calls her the best thing that happened on so many levels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Adam listed first?
Yep.
He's the first guest?
Has to be alphabetical.
I was going to say, hold on. Let's check those last names.
He's the lead guest?
All right, where were we?
Well, speaking of Endgame, a man in Hong Kong was reportedly beaten after yelling major spoilers to fans waiting outside a movie theater that was showing the movie. According to Deadline...
This is one of those times I agree with both sides.
Yeah, totally.
I like to see his point of view. I see their point of view.
According to Deadline and some local media reports, the unidentified man spent a few moments shouting plot developments and spoilers at the fans before they just turned on him and attacked him. He was apparently left beaten and bloodied on the side of the road until
man, that's the
medical
chance you
treatment showed
take.
up. Yeah, I mean, what a psychopath.
Can I tell you?
That's funny.
You guys,
I haven't seen it.
you haven't.
Well, let Brian ruin it for
I
you.
don't want to.
What do you wanna know? What do you wanna know, John? What do you wanna know?
Yeah, we don't do that here.
I haven't seen it. Don't ruin it for me.
There was
I can't hear you.
an episode I haven't told you guys about in a million years.
He hasn't seen it either.
When I was that's 19, I went to the Sherman Oaks Galleria where the theaters were, where they did Fast Times at Ridgemont High and everything, and I went with my...
Did you grow up in the Valley, too?
Yeah, I grew up in North Hollywood, and so
Oh.
you go
Grant?
there, North Hollywood High.
Oh, okay.
And we went to see a movie there, and it's back when whatever movie was there, you just go see, because you didn't pick
That's
and
the
choose.
movie.
That's the movie. And Idi Amin, the Big Daddy, I think it was called the Big Daddy story or something, but it was the Idi Amin story. You can look it up, Max Pat. It must have been circa 1983 or something. like
Yaphet
that.
Kotto?
Yeah, it was Idi Amin. And the whole movie was just him going, I'm going to take this family and I'm going to bury them alive in a mass grave. And there was one guy in the theater, and he would laugh out loud. Every time, he's like, woo! And it was like, every time and
That was JonLovitz.
every time Idi Amin would say something horrible or do something horrible, this guy would laugh out loud. There were only 11 people in the theater, and he would laugh very overtly and very out loud to every single... Idi Amin just did horrible things all day, every day, to everyone. This is the entire thrust of the movie. And he would be torturing someone, and this guy would start laughing
Was he
really
tripping
loud.
his balls off?
Cape Fear-esque. Maybe it was Max Cady.
It was so weird, yeah. And at the end, a group, including myself and my buddy Snake, who went to the thing, one up and confronted the guy. One up and sort of surrounded him. And he was just sitting there alone. And he was just oh, what's the trouble?
Seems to be a problem.
And it was you were laughing out loud at every single horrible thing Idi Amin did. And he's so is there a problem?
And?
It was... I have no idea to this day what it was. He ruined the whole movie. It was bizarre.
Was the movie so bad it was funny? Was it that kind of thing?
It was really
I don't know
bad.
this film.
It must have been 83, 84. It was Yaphet Kotto. It was Idi Amin. Max, if you don't put in Yaphet Kotto and Idi Amin in 19 whatever movie, you should find it in 10 seconds. The internet is sort of confounding.
No,
right?
I was out getting coffee. I just got back in. And
Oh, okay. Well, perhaps you worked during the show.
I was amused by watching Kaylin how to try to figure out how to spell Idi Amin.
Or Yaphet Kotto.
Yeah.
I think it was called Big Daddy, or some version of that. But either way,
that was his
Brian,
nickname, but I don't see any movie called Big Daddy with Idi Amin.
Brian will find it.
There's a movie in 81.
Well, it could be it. Could be 81.
No. It's
No.
Yaphet Kotto.
What's the 81 movie called?
It's called Amin, The Rise and Fall. But, let me look and see Yaphet Kotto.
So either way, if you find a clip of that movie at the end of the movie, well, it looks like Yaphet Kotto's in that, but I don't know.
Looks intense.
Anyway, at the end
That's
of
him.
At the end of the movie, there's like a voiceover, and it's like, after Idi Amin tortured, raped many families, he now lives in luxury, relaxing, and eating fine food. Like, it was like this crazy voiceover then. Maybe it was a pretty bad movie, but this guy, it was in a world where most movies were bad. I don't know why this guy was
stand out.
laughing hysterically. Yeah,
There is.
I think that's
I
it.
would never accuse you of being racist or racially blind, but the star of Amin, The Rise and Fall in 81 is named Joseph Olida, and he does slightly resemble Yaphet Kotto.
Well, you brought up Yaphet Kotto, didn't you?
I did, but I asked. I'm like, is that starring Yaphet Kotto?
Well, it's a guy who looks like Yaphet Kotto. So
It happened to me. I went,
yes.
I did that cartoon, The Critic, and I go, it stinks.
I love that
And I
cartoon,
went
by the way.
I went to see the Titanic, the James Cameron, and right when the movie starts, a guy yelled out, "It sinks!" Ruined it for everyone.
All right, you need to find the ending voiceover.
He does play Idi Amin in Raid on Entebbe. That's a TV
Yaphet
film.
does.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
TV
well, that's a guy. Well, it's a guy who looked like Yaphet Kotto.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I was 17. He just looked like him. I was assuming. I thought you knew something. I didn't know. He just looked like him. All right, we'll find the end of that movie. It was a bad movie. But still, the guy laughing was out of line. And Idi Amin was horrible. And but if you listen to the voiceover then, it'll make you laugh. Yeah, so maybe Yaphet and Raid on Entebbe is what got me
It's
confused.
seared in your brain in 77, probably.
But also, this guy looked exactly like Yaphet Kotto, and also Yaphet Kotto is not like a household name in my brain. But Max Patty, if you find a clip of the end
I think we have
of that movie, you will laugh. Sorry, I'll play it.
Before the raid on Entebbe, the British consul visited Dora Block at the hospital in Uganda. She was recovering. After the raid, the consul went back to visit her. No one could tell him of her whereabouts. Her bed was empty. She has never been heard of again.
Yeah, that's the raid on Entebbe, though.
Yeah.
It said Ty Andrews at the end. That was my friend's dad.
So, Max Patty, we want the end of the movie that we're talking about,
All right.
not the other movie.
I found a voiceover at the end of the movie. I thought.
Okay, I think they just ended every movie with a voiceover, but this is the
Rise and Fall.
Rise and Fall movie.
We'll find out.
Yeah, that movie. I don't know what. All right, anyway.
All right.
That was the movie we're talking about. I don't know where we always get the other things
There
were brought
multiple
up.
Movies mentioned. Yeah, so it got
I know, but why it's never the one I want? Why not the movie I just brought up?
But you said yourself that you were a little confused as well with what was what. So I played a voiceover at the end of a movie. And
all right, but what are the chances? Okay, find the movie that I'm talking about.
We'll get it.
Okay,
I'm getting it.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, TMZ is reporting that Larry King suffered a heart attack last Thursday after going into cardiac arrest. Sources with direct knowledge say that Larry had been having difficulty breathing for months. He was scheduled to check himself into the hospital that day for an angiogram, but apparently he was at home getting ready to go to the hospital, and he went into cardiac arrest.
They didn't have to hit him with the paddles. They just grabbed one of his suspenders, pulled it back 3 foot, and let it go.
Smacked
and he
it back.
immediately came right back.
Yeah, that's right. That's in here. He was taken by ambulance to the hospital where doctors performed an angioplasty, opening up an artery that had collapsed, inserting several stents. TMZ is told
How old is he?
85-year-old talk show legend expected to be released, today, tomorrow.
Oh, he's going to be okay?
Well, he's had heart issues for 30 years. He's had 2 other heart attacks in the past. If I'm not mistaken, I think he has a fairly young son.
Yes, who's a baseball player?
Yeah, Chase.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So keep an eye on that.
I saw him at dinner a year ago. We said it was sort of a happened in a restaurant, and we're sitting down at our booth, Christy and I, and Larry King gets walked in and sits down at the table next to us. Like, oh, Larry King, how about that? And all of a sudden, 3 very young, very attractive women sit down, and 1 younger man. Could have been the son, I don't know. But he seemed, and again, I wasn't at the table with him, very uncomfortable. Very not uncomfortable, just not in his element. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't seem like he wanted to be there. He wasn't effusive. I couldn't tell he was engaged in conversation.
I've known him for years. He's a very nice guy, and I've done his show too. He's fun it's fun to interview with because he did his interview show forever.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So then when he's interviewing you, it's like, oh, me, and it's just weird. Adam Carolla. Well,
it is weird.
Adam Carolla. hot dogs.
I've been
Your
on
thoughts,
the show too,
right? And you
Mustard
feel
always.
like you're. You feel like you're on TV.
Do
but he's nice.
Do you think, I've never thought about this, and if not him, who? Do you think he has the record for most times eating out? I feel like he eats every single meal out.
Well, he does have a matzo braai named after him in Beverly Hills.
I feel like he's been eating out since he was 11 years old.
Yeah, I buy it.
The all-time record or the current record? I think the all-time record is Frank Sinatra. But the current record, probably Larry King.
I feel like Sinatra probably had a lot of food brought to his penthouse and stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm talking about grabbing a booth. Like
Yeah.
you saw him,
Yeah.
he was eating out. Every time you see him on TMZ, he's
Nate Nels.
walking out of a restaurant.
Or a Dodgers
it's like,
game.
I just feel like he eats out perpetually.
That's possible.
You couldn't picture him at home making a chicken pot pie or something. Like I feel like he just eats out every single meal. He's been, grew up in Brooklyn or
Right.
whatever. Probably was doing it when he was in his teens and never stopped. Like he may set.
I think he
out
eats
record.
at Nate Now's every day.
Yeah, there's the Larry King matzo braai at Nate Nels.
Right.
It's great.
He may have the record. I'd like to see who was up against it.
Let's think of other challengers. Maybe make sportscasters like a Howard Cosell or like Al Michaels, someone who's constantly on the road.
Yeah.
Bob Costas.
I do. I think.
But I think Larry King is still out of those
I think
guys.
first thing you have to do is make it to 80. Second thing you have to do is be out a lot. But also there's a kind of a weird thing, which is, I don't know, Howard Cosell may not have wanted to be bothered. Like if he went to a booth, he'd get bothered.
What about Don Rickles?
Went to Sardi's.
What about Don Rickles?
Doesn't he
Yeah,
live in
Rickles
Vegas?
probably. Yeah, Rickles probably up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's do one more.
All right. Well, Pope Francis welcomed hairdressers, hairstylists, and beauticians to the Vatican on Monday, but warned them not to indulge in gossip while tending to their clients.
Oh, good luck.
The Associated Foreign Press reports that the Pope encouraged these stylists to, quote, practice your profession in a Christian style, treating customers with kindness and courtesy while avoiding giving into the temptation of chatting and gossiping that easily creeps into your work environment.
Why were they all converging there?
They were just invited. They were invited by the Pope. Now, it does seem weird, but in 2015, the Pope opened a hairdresser in the Vatican, a salon for homeless people in Rome. It's open on Mondays when other barbers are closed and is staffed by volunteers, so those things may have been related.
Does the Vatican have homeless people?
Rome has homeless people.
Oh, so they get to
Maybe
come
not
in?
in Vatican City. I don't know.
I can't see them.
There's gypsies.
Not within the wall. The Vatican's walled off, right?
Yeah.
So they let them in.
I was there 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You
So
can't show your shoulders. It was about 107 degrees, 97 humidity, and we had to go get sweaters. We had to go buy sweaters to get in the Vatican.
So people, it's sort of like the Magic Castle. You pull up
Exactly,
there.
yeah.
You're wearing a hoodie, and they're like, you got to put a blazer
Put
on.
one on for you.
Exactly.
And they'll also go, you're wearing jeans, and you go, yeah, okay, all right, we'll put some suit pants on, and then you pull your
Yeah.
suit pants over your jeans, and you put this triple XL size blazer on over your sweat jacket,
And that's
now
somehow supposed to be nice.
you look like the goddamn Unabomber at this point. Like now you look like an insane person who stumbled into
Yes.
this magic castle.
Yes, and I don't know if he ever told you this, but I was there one night with Dr. Drew and Susan, and Dr. Drew was, of course, coming from something, and he had jeans and a blazer, and they made him leave, and he had to go back to the CNN building to get a suit.
It's weird. Like someone has to say to him, you guys just do magic here. You don't do brain surgery.
Yeah.
And you really don't do anything important other than magic, and that's not important. So
Yeah, they're very strict.
get off that high horse, Magic Castle.
You're right about that.
All right, what do you got, Max Pata?
I can't find it.
Oh, you can't find it, but right on in.
It's a pretty obscure movie.
It is. The internet's weird. It's like everything's there, but sometimes
Nothing's there.
sometimes nothing there. Well, we'll find some version of it, or
Yeah,
someone
we're-
will send it to us.
Yeah.
All right, let's do. Sorry, what were we talking
bring
about?
it home?
Vatican,
Yeah.
homeless,
Yeah,
salon,
yeah.
Vatican.
Don't gossip.
Awesome. No gossiping, but he's bringing the hairstylists in.
Yeah, for Mondays when the other barbershops are closed. That's when people come and volunteer for the homeless haircuts.
Now, no one needs a stylist less than the Pope, right? Because
Maybe the homeless.
same outfit, same
Yeah.
haircut, big pointy hat,
Yeah,
like
sandals,
nothing.
bubble
nothing.
car. Yeah,
You got one look, man. Lean in.
on
Yeah.
brand. People expect it.
Timeless.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
All right. Well, the New York Post reports that Washington State is on the verge of becoming the first state to allow the environmentally friendly practice of human composting.
Yeah.
That turns
Nice.
dead bodies into soil.
I'm
within
fine with it,
weeks.
but
Yeah.
you got to go vertical.
Meaning
Why?
what?
I gotta
I
I gotta put you in the ground. I gotta use a post hole digger. I don't want to use grave diggers. I use a big auger,
Okay.
big post hole digger.
Yeah.
and a big
What do you mean
auger.
human compost?
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah.
dead bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natural organic reduction, they call it. It's they want to legalize that burial alternative.
They did a movie about, they made it food. Soylent Green is made out of people.
That's right.
Remember that movie?
Spoiler.
Well, that's what it's going to be. Then they grow vegetables on top of
That's
it.
right.
And you're like, oh, this carrot tastes like my Uncle Ed.
Gamey. Well, a spokeswoman said that.
I'm no scientist, so I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that carrot could taste like a family member.
The idea seems like a thoughtful effort to soften our footprint on the earth. The process is believed to transform a person's remains into 2 wheelbarrows full of soil in 4 to 7 weeks. And if signed, it could be actually taken into effect today or tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry.
Again.
I was going to say today or tomorrow. May 1st of 2020. Oh. It's not clear how much it's going to cost yet. But you can also get soil pods, and they put you in the fetal position and plant you in the ground.
I like that.
So you'll be a tree.
Again, you got to go in like a pylon.
Yeah. Vertical.
That's how I want you to go.
Why?
You got to go vertically.
You're taking
Because
less
I
room.
don't want to dig a grave. I want my post hole digger with my auger.
You're going to take up all less room.
That's fair.
You get a lot more bodies in a certain square footage.
Yeah.
That's right. You go vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why do they want to do this in the first place?
To lessen our carbon footprint, probably.
That's not burying bodies in
But
coffins.
I feel like, but in the Jewish religion, they're already kind of doing that because you don't get embalmed. You get put in a pine box.
Don't
So
you also think
you're already there?
Some of these places, they just sit around and go, what would piss off Sean Hannity? What would get him the angriest? Like if we're picturing him starting a show tonight.
We're already Washington. That's good enough. What next?
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
What do we do? Bob, your idea with that outlawing plastic straws, good.
That's good, strong.
That's good, but I think this is better because it's got a little religion,
Yeah.
kind of bleeds into the
environment.
Environment.
Free
It's gonna be
meals for
awesome.
service animals on airplanes?
Write it down.
Okay.
Write it
Warmer.
down. Yeah, the notion.
Needle
now-
exchange for children?
Oh, that's good. Oh, needle exchange for service animals
right.
on
You're on
airplanes.
fire.
I think we can combine your
Service
ideas.
children. Oh, that's good. Write it down.
So, but I never got the whole embalming and the whole, whatever.
Open
and
caskets.
you're talking to a guy who spent $13,000 on a casket.
That you thought was 1,300?
Well, to be fair, I was told it was 1,300, and then later on it was revised. But to this atheist, spending what my family spent collectively on all the cars they ever owned combined from zero to the time I left the house on a casket that's never going to be seen again. Seems like a weird ritual, but the whole put them in the suit and put makeup on them and
Rose up the
formaldehyde,
cheeks.
and embalming, and that feels weird.
I've never seen an open casket before. I've never.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it either.
It's creepy.
Yeah, either way.
Well, it started because they would always be closed, and then there was a funeral, and someone forgot to close it.
Is that how it
don't
started?
say.
Yes, and it was open.
And they put a little rouge on them. And are you serious?
No.
Oh, I'm buying it. Hook, line, and
Forgetting
sinker.
to close. That's not like the bathroom fart fan. I feel like you'd see that one would be open.
That's real
Either
good.
way,
That's what they embalm, because if it's open, you're going to smell.
You start rotting right away.
My thing is, I'm fine. I heard you could be put into refrigeration and you could hang out for a week. But either way, this whole part where you have to see the person dead and embalming and makeup and suits and stupid, it's all dumb. I'm not a slippery slope guy, but the back into the earth is mulch kind of thing kind of means we're about 8 years away from the wood shredder, like the chipper.
Right in during the service.
It'd be really efficient.
Well,
Chop that dude up.
Yeah, you guys
Chop Nana up.
saw Fargo.
Sure.
We're getting.
Yeah.
We will be there. That'll be the next one.
Right. Well, speaking of TV shows, remember in Breaking Bad how they dissolve the body, and that's another one that people are trying to get legalized.
But why are they doing this? Are nurseries running out of mulch?
Yeah, I think we're running out of real estate.
Yeah.
But they
All right.
put them in the ground. There's no footprint. They're 6 feet under.
Yeah, but the
not affecting the
$13,000
environment.
caskets, I think, aren't great for the grass. I don't know.
No. I've been to Forest Lawn, and it's
Beautiful.
It's called
Lush.
Forest Lawn.
That's right.
Beautiful
It's not
lawn.
dandelion.
That's right.
It's forest lawn.
Forest crabgrass.
I mean, that'd be a good golf course if they didn't have that.
That's true.
Well, nothing to stop you from, bringing a sandwich. Just
Ting
getting
off,
a little
Grandma.
practice in while you're convening with Grandpa.
hold still.
All right, let me bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Sit down, shut up, and pull that plug out of your ass.
That was the news with Gina Grad.